floating when you lower them down. You'll see a lot of bubbles coming out at first, but that is not, there we go. That doesn't mean the water's boiling. So I'm going to let those sit on there. These are all done. We're going to get this out of here because I got to start another batch of brine. But there's a few carrots left in there, so I'm going to eat those. Even though they're in the brine, they're still going to be tasty little tidbits to eat. But I'm going to get out one of my other ugly pans for our green beans. Our green bean brine. This is my mother's old Revereware pan, and I covet it. Okay, oops, I didn't mean to knock the mic. So once these come to a boil, we're going to process them for 15 minutes. And I don't want this to be a rolling boil because it's going to be bouncing those jars all over the place. I just want it to be a nice, steady boil. And you boil it with the lid on. You don't boil it with the lid off. So that already seems like it's pretty high. I'm going to bring that down a little bit. Once I'm happy where it's at, I mean, you can hear it boiling. I mean, you know when things are boiling. All right. Not quite. Can you guys hear the water burping out of the air burping out of the jars? Once it gets to be a steady sound, then I'll actually start my timer. I'm glad it has a good quality sound. Okay, so that is our pickled carrots. Now I'm going to grab our book for our dilly beans. Get our brine going on that, and then we will fill up all these jars. I'm trying to get to my Post-it note. Okay, so this makes about 6 pint jars. Combine the salt, the vinegar, and the water. All right, so how much salt do we need? We need 3 tablespoons of pickling or canning salt. Well, just happen to have that measured out right there. Have that measured out right there. 3 cups of white vinegar. I'm going to use the same spoon for the carrots as I did for the other thing. It's not that big of a deal. It's not going to make or break. So we need 3 cups of white vinegar. I don't know why I'm holding it over that. Don't need to. So there's 1 cup, or that's 2 cups, excuse me. Hey, look at that. These are really good to save, to fill with water, and stick them in your freezer if you don't have enough things in your freezer to keep your. No, Derek, those are clean. Just stick it in the sink. That's fine. We'll put that over there. Then we also need 3 cups of water. Remember, we do not reduce the salt. We do not reduce the sugar. Now, the dilly beans will not have sugar in there. Have you guys ever seen, has anybody here not seen what dill looks like when dill grows and becomes dill? Derek the betrayer. Oh, he's already gone down the hall. Derek the betrayer. That's funny. All right, we're boiling now. Our timer's now started for those. When the timer dings, we take off the lid, we wait 5 minutes, then we'll take them out, we'll put them onto our drying thing over there. So that'll be ready to go. So for our dill, so we need 3 cups of water. So we're going to bring this up, start this simmering. So to each jar, so I need all my peppercorns. This is why I buy those flat packs from the Spice House, guys, because he eats a lot of fresh ground pepper, and Fresh ground pepper in the grocery store is crazy expensive. So I buy all these big pack things here, and they work really, really well. So I'm just going to put a whole bunch of these pepper. I gotta move these other. Come on, you guys need to all get out of my way now. I had to move it so I could get into there. Okay, so we're gonna put 3 things of peppercorns in each jar. 1, 2, 3. This jar has to be filled up even more, so but I'm leaving a gap here so I can put this in here. So dill, it's kind of a big dill. This is dill. It smells amazing. And it is these yellow flowers, these beautiful yellow flowers that we're going to use in our pickles, in our dill green beans today. Then I'm going to take the rest of these flowers that I don't use, and I'm going to freeze them. And I'll use them when I make my next batch. And that way you don't waste any of them. So it calls for 6 sprigs of fresh dill. So let's take this one. Come on, catch and release. So you guys can see what this looks like. I don't want to drop this on the floor, but I have dill pollen all over here. And by the way, buying dill pollen is expensive. If you don't have access to fresh dill, so one head of dill about this size. Let's get, because that one's kind of big. That's what she said. I'm sorry. It's been a long day already. I just need a nice, this will work, okay. Let go. So a normal head of dill, about this size right here, a half a teaspoon of dill seed, you'll get the equivalent. I'm lucky you weren't supposed to hear that, but I buy peppercorns in a huge bag. Yes, the flavor is totally different, right? Because you get all the oils from it as well. So buying pre-ground pepper, I stopped doing that since 2004. I stopped doing that because the flavor of the dill is just intense. So when this is calling for 6 sprigs of fresh dill, this is what they mean. Not the fronds, not the little fronds. I'll peel all the fronds off and I'm going to dehydrate those. So these is going to be about 6 sprigs of these. If you want to add more, you could add a little bit more. Don't add a lot because remember, it's a low acid food. It's a low acid food. So we're going to stuff I don't need that one either. So now we have about 6 of these. So here's the thing we can do the grape leaf in here if we want to do a grape leaf in here to help keep them crisp, but I've cut the stem ends off. On squashes, the blossom end is what you want to cut off. On green beans and things that, like green beans, what's the other one on there? Tomatoes, all that kind of stuff. Taking the stem end is where the enzymes are actually located. I have good headphones on. I hear everything. I'll have to remember that later. Yes. So this one, there's 2, 3. We have a lot of vinegar in this. I'm not 3. There's about 6 of there. And then we're going to add, it wants 6 cloves of garlic, so I'm assuming it wants 1 clove per jar. But I'm going to cut it in half. Actually, I'll probably cut it in quarters. So I was just thinking about something that happened today. I came home from the store and my neighbor's service dog was out using the bathroom, also known as the front yard. And I was getting out of my car and it came up to me and tried to grab my grocery bag handle and take it. Oh my gosh, how cute is it? It was trying to help you. It was trying to help you bring in your groceries. That's really nice. I don't know if you can hear my husband and the painter out there having a conversation, but they're just tearing it up. I have no idea what they're talking about. I know it's not sports because my husband doesn't do any sports. Neither do I. I already did that one. No, it was trying to, oh, it's like, oh, you brought these from my mom. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, human. Now, give me that bag and get out of here. And then when you don't give it over, then it's like, give me the bag. Here, just take them, just go. I will say I have seen, I mean, I understand the need for service dogs and service animals, and that is huge. But there's certain things that I don't think have any business. I don't think of them as a service animal. I got attacked by a goose in a Lowe's because it was somebody's service animal. And I was like, no, I'm not feeling that one. I had a lady who had a service turkey, and it was on an airplane. And let me tell you, turkeys don't control going to the bathroom. That's going a little too hard. I'm going to turn that down just a little bit. I like getting the canner, the water bath canners that have like the clear lid, because then I can see inside of them. Okay, so hot jars, 1/2 inch again, 1/2 inch headspace. Add the green. Okay, so combine the salt, the vinegar, the water. Bring to a boil. Add the green and yellow bean. Well, see, I don't understand that. Return to a boil and then remove from heat. Okay, so this is my critical thinking that's coming in. These get processed. Oh, this one's getting processed for 10 minutes. Okay, so then we'll put them in there, and all right, we can do that. So this garlic has an icky spot in it. We're going to cut that out. Remember, you will get out of your canned stuff what you put into the jar. Huh? Oh no, you guys are standing right there by the window. I heard. We all heard. I'm kidding. I don't think they could hear. And this pan is so old it's warped. Girl who bakes, hello! Typical Australian of me. I once got chased by a kangaroo. I hear they're mean. Is that true? I mean, are they mean? And how long did it chase you? And why was it chasing? Was it just chasing you because it was mean? Was that why it was chasing you? I'm going to judge the heck out of them. Don't judge someone. I'm sorry, did you see? Yes, I was attacked by a service goose in Lowe's. And a duck. Another guy had a duck. And the duck kept walking over to me. And I finally looked at him and I said, can you keep your duck away from me, please? Because it's like, and I'm like, look, I've been adopted by a Canadian goose, taught it how to fly, released it back into the wild. But this duck was pooping everywhere. And I'm like, no. And then somebody had a pygmy goat as their service animal in a backpack. I'm like, how's that animal helping you if it's behind you and you can't see it and it can't react to you? And what does it do for you? No, you just want to bring your goat into the store and have people pay attention to you. That's the only reason why you brought that thing in here. That's my theory. There are 4 different types of kangaroos. The red kangaroos are mean and very big, and they will literally punch you. What? That's crazy. We are the carrots are in the canner here. I've got to get the green beans. Not that piece of garlic. I got to get the green beans into the. So these have to come out because that one's my. So all of these have to go into. I need to measure these out then to make sure I have enough to go in here. We're going to try and do this. Then I'll put these, once I know how many fill a jar. So that's 1 jar. I'm going to pack these really, really tight because they're going to shrink a lot. Okay, so we're going to say that's 1 jar. You know, the last recipe I did not have me putting them into the brine. But see, remember I told you guys, this is why I read the recipe every single time, because I've done these in the past. Last big batch of dilly beans I did was in 2017, and we ate the last jar the other day. So that's been several years since I've made dilly beans, and I want to make sure I'm doing the right recipe. I want a boa constrictor as a service animal. The service would probably scare off the doctors, yes. It's like, this is my boa. That's crazy. I cannot imagine being chased by a kangaroo. I can't picture it. Let's put this here. We're gonna put this here. That's my peppercorns. Come on, get out of there. I'm making sure I have enough beans. I'm not putting them in here the right way. I'm just putting them in here. And I'll make a couple extra just to be on the safe side. So these we're going to stuff in there really, really good. Most things, they don't want you to overpack them. But these, if you don't overpack them, they'll start to swim around in there and you won't have a... So there is... Let's see how many I'm getting in there. I'm getting quite a few in there. All right, so there's jar 2. Yeah, I could have sworn the last batch I did. Got it. 2 minutes and 38 seconds left on those. Here we go. Okay, see, this one does not have you boil them in that first. Pack the beans. To each pint, add your garlic, your dill. Combine the remaining ingredients. Pour it over the beans, leaving process for. I'm going to process for 10, not for 5. 2 weeks before tasting. That's what we're doing. I'm not doing it the other way. I'm not doing it the other way. I like this way. Okay, so we have, and the reason why I'm processing for 10 minutes is because I don't want to have to sterilize the jars. So here's 1 jar, here's 2 jars. I'm thinking, wait, how many pints did that say that made? Did any of you read the recipe and let me know how many pints? I said no? No? Okay. I'll check. So they're having it cook like that. See, and I don't agree with that. All right. Starting over on this. I don't want this one. Because I'm going to go use the one at NCHFP. The ratios are different. So we're going to go by NCHFP. We're going to do that one. So NCHFP says 2.5 cups water and 2.5 cups of vinegar. I like that better. But because I'm making probably more here than I have, and it wants a 1/4 cup of canning salt. All right, 2.5 cups. Oop. Yeah, I guess that fire was still on. 2.5 cups vinegar, 2.5 cups water. 2.5 cups water. I'm going to make a double batch. So that's another 2 cups of vinegar. Snot rags. Carrots are done. Fire is turned off. Lid is taken off. We now let that set for 5 minutes, and then we will put those onto, so if we're doing double, it's 2, 4, 5 cups of water. I've got those beans in the other one. Get that water hot again. This will make it boil even faster. There's 2. There's 4. Then we'll do a half a cup of canyon salt. I want to make sure I have extra brine, because if I do extra pickles or extra beans after stream, this way I will have them. And there's 5. You can go more on vinegar, you can't go more on water. We don't want to dilute our acidity. Oh, I forgot to have my little fig bar out there. I can't imagine living that close to wild kangaroos, Jacob. That's crazy. Done. 10-second speech, then pause for an uncomfortable 10 to 15 seconds and proceed to speak in gibberish. That is crazy. That is crazy. That freaked me out, I have to admit. Okay, one batch called for a 1/4 cup of canning salt. So we are using a half a cup of canning salt. There we go. Remember, do not use table salt. The anti-caking agent will actually ruin it. Not ruin it, you'll get a real cloudy brine. Three minutes and we can take those out. Ooh, I gotta add some water to that. Oh, maybe not. But we will to be safe. Yeah, I have a lot of green beans to can. But we'll get these in there, and then we're going to do our pork belly, and then you'll all be excused from class. How about that? Duna, she's going to lurk while she eats breakfast. What are you having for breakfast, my dear? What are you eating? And did you bring enough for the rest of the class? You know, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to try and fill this canner. These were in the dishwasher on just a rinse cycle. So remember, each one is going to get 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, and 3, 2, 3. Sounds like bits falling, doesn't it? Sausages, eggs. Oh man, you're having a hearty breakfast. Yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can do 8. I can do 8 pints in there. So there's my 8 pints. Okay. Each one wants about 6 sprigs of the dill. I don't do the stem part. I just kind of like pop off the stem part. Just put the flowerette in there. I cut these a little too long. Normally I do this on my kitchen counter, so I have a lot of room spread out. I have my jars all lined up. Any seasoning that's going to go in the jar before it goes in, like the peppercorns here, is in front of the jars. Then any seasoning that has to go in at the end, sometimes like when you're doing tomatoes, lemon juice goes in at the very, very end. And there we go. Shh, calm yourself, calm yourself. And then they go into and then this is normally sitting over in front of here, so I just do, and it goes really, really fast, guys. Not like you're seeing here today. This is a little bit longer because it's social. There they are. That's steamy. So 3 sealed, 2 did not. This is actually a good test because these jars, these are older jars, and these jars have been in storage. So I don't know where they were stored at. Somebody donated them to me. Were they stored in a garage where the garage got super, super hot? Might compromise the divot thing. So I can reprocess those. Let's see. Do you hear that ping? There is a fresh jar of canned pickled carrots that I'm dripping all over everywhere. And these are just going to sit with my, trying to take these out even so that it doesn't tip the, and the fingers don't bend real good on the, and notice I'm not tipping the jars over to get the water off the top of the lids. That will happen naturally. You can take a paper towel and lightly absorb the water. Don't take a paper towel and really soak up the water because you may force that tab down when it wasn't ready to go down. And we want to make sure it's ready to go down. Pop, there goes another one. That is such an exciting sound, people. I'm telling you, that is like the magic sound of canning right there. 5 jars of pickled carrots. Great snack. They will hold all. The one nice thing about pickling is that you retain all the vitamin C. I'm just gonna, I only absorb some of the water off the top. I have high iron in my water, so I don't want them to. You know, why am I fighting with these little itty bitty things here? Put those in the freezer. You know, you could add a sliver of jalapeno. Can't put a whole jalapeno in because, you know, you got the air pocket in there. But you could put a sliver of jalapeno in there. You got garlic, you got garlic. You get some garlic, and you get some garlic. I think those are too small. Do they taste the same as a raw carrot? No. They do not have the same. I mean, you can taste the carrot, but they're sweet, they're salty. They're briny from the vinegar. Hang on, I got it. Oh, there we go. Couldn't get that darn thing off over there. But they're not like that. You don't get that raw carrot taste at all. I need 3 more. Those 2 are teeny, so they can split one. There we go. And then we're going to do a pork belly. These will go a little bit faster. At least I think they will. Ooh, that was a tough skin on that one. You know, one of my students, we had to have her at a separate workstation. I mean, she could still work with the others, but when other people were when we're doing the demoing of the carrots, she can't handle the carrots. She's actually allergic to carrots. And what's really interesting about that is that it's not so much an allergy to the carrot root itself, although that's what triggers it. But even the greens will trigger it for her. It's called a pollen allergy. And like I said, I'd never heard of that before. So I had to look it up and educate myself on that because, you know, knowledge is power. Like a lot of people don't realize that for those, I think I talked about this last week, the people who eat pork and it upsets their stomach and they can't eat a lot of pork, it's usually because they're allergic to cats. Kavera, didn't we have that conversation? I think Kavera and I had that conversation. Yeah. So a lot of people don't realize that it's actually called pork cat allergy. And a lot of people are kind of like, wait, what? And it's like, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. Now this clove of garlic was quite large, so I am going to quarter it, but it's still just going to go into 1 jar. That's going to be a real garlicky one. I'll use this smaller one for those 2. So normally when you're canning, you would have all your garlic chopped, you would have all your peppercorns out, so you're literally just going brrrr, 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 load up your stuff, put on the lids, off it goes. Off it goes. What else? Which one has that one had a tiny one, that one had a tiny one. That has a medium one. You'll get an itty bitty one. And you had the tiniest of them. Okay. I don't have my bowl over here because I have everything locked up in other things. Okay, so these are only going to get processed. These will get processed 10. Yes. Jeez, just throw everything around over there. All right, we're going to grab some more dill here. Because I want to have plenty of, and like I said, any dill that you don't use, freeze it. I'm telling you, it freezes beautifully. Double bag it when you freeze it, because it will make your freezer smell like dill. Okay, so that one has an ugly end, so we're going to get rid of that one. We're going to get rid of that one. This one's already starting to develop seeds. Huh. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That one still needs a couple. All right, that one still needs a couple. There you go. This smells so good. I'm telling you, dilly beans are addictive. Massively addictive. I sent a jar of these to, sometimes Yagomi pops in, so I sent him a jar of these. And I didn't know that green beans were his favorite vegetable. He's like, what are these? What are pickled green beans? I'm like, right, good stuff. Really good stuff. Good to just eat. Good to put in salads. I did make the mistake of eating a whole pint of dilly beans once. I do not recommend that. It's pretty harsh on the, how did I miss you? Let me get a couple more. Whoop. And you get a couple more. Kind of weird looking, isn't it? Ew. Jelly beans or green beans? Green beans, a whole pint, a whole jar like this filled with dilled green beans. Okay, just a couple more. Here, we'll just take you right there. All right. Now see how fast I can fill eight jars. Because my canner can hold 8 jars. And I'll tell you, if you're going to do them, do a full canner, because you'll, in the long run, it's just better for you. You don't want to do 15 different batches. I'm going to kind of lay the jar down on its side as I sit here and chew I got my water running from my hot water. I'm doing flat side down. Stop going in my face. I'm going to pack these in there as tight as I can get them. I mean, as tight as I can get them with my fingers. I mean, I could get like something to like lay it down. Atomic Widget, hello. Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. Should get this back on. Just adding a little bit of water to my water bath canner because I want to make sure I have plenty of water for the next round. I'm going to leave that middle, maybe I'll only do 7 pints and leave that middle one in there. That's going to be warm. Yeah, we'll do 7. Oh, I got 8 pints. Well, I'll see. If I can get 8 pints in there, I'll get 8 pints in there. If I can't, I can't. If I can't, I can't. Geek Boy, how are you? Visual Purple, thank you for that follow. How are you today? How did you find my... I always like to ask people how they found the stream. Was it the crazy haired lady that you clicked on? Or was it because it was canning? I always like to know. I'm doing very well. Getting some canning done. As soon as I get these 7 pints in here, we already got our carrots going. Our carrots are back there on the stove cooling. Well, on the counter cooling, not on the stove cooling. It's kind of an oxymoron. And then we're gonna start our pork belly cure. So if you guys were here for the, oh man, I gotta get those down in there. Come on, get in there. These are the 1/2 inch headspace. And if you have anything poking up, it will keep that lid from sealing. So get them down in there while you can. I probably should put the pointy end down. Have you done any pickling, Geek Boy? I always like to know who's done pickling and canning, who does it regularly. Is there a favorite thing you like to can that you do regularly? The only thing I ask is that you don't follow family recipes. People really want to follow family recipe for salsas. We have the best salsa in the world. It's amazing. We're going to put these in like this. I want to see the difference. Have all those cut over there. If we have to cut some up again, we can cut some up real fast. In every car is painted pink, we would have pink carnation. Yes, I would go for that. But they all have to be Cadillacs. Pink Cadillac. I don't know the words. I'm just going to sing it along. Random. I usually stream games, but I like to do crafting, painting, paper crafts. But then you popped up regarding canning, and I'm a gardener. Oh my gosh. I haven't canned this year because it's a time suck. Yes. And I think that's the hardest thing. And it makes it look like canning takes a lot longer than it does, particularly when you do it on stream because, you know, you're talking with folks, you're visiting, and then boom, next thing you know, you're like, man, I have got to get this stuff done. I've got to get this stuff going. So I've already done some care, but I will tell you, when you can grow your own vegetables and then can them, oh my gosh, it is absolutely amazing. If you guys do !menu, it of course tells you what we're doing today that you've all can see and whatever, but also has my up-to-date Discord link in there. So, you know, please join the Discord if you have questions about canning. Obviously, we have people who garden, so let's get some gardening folks in there answering the gardening questions. I do a lot of companion planting. I have this book called Carrots Love Tomatoes, and it was the best book I ever was gifted for gardening. I mean, I have a lot of garden books, but I am certified master gardener, but it just means I took the course. I didn't really do anything with it. Groans. My girlfriend Kate got mad when she caught me making eyes at Edith. She said, "You can't have your Kate and Edith too." These are like dad jokes. These are like dad jokes. Okay, I can probably get a couple more in there. How do you know when a joke is a dad joke? When it becomes apparent? Oh my gosh. You guys are killing me with these. When it becomes apparent. Oh. But I'm bumped, right? Laugh and the world laughs with you. Fart and you clear an elevator. That's what my dad always told me. That was a dad joke. I told you my mom was is still. She's a very proper. She's a lady. She's a true lady. I really admire my mom. And they were in Las Vegas, I guess. And Dad being Dad, they get onto an elevator. And I guess he timed it perfectly, because somebody else got on the elevator. I don't know who it was. And just before the elevator door opened, he let one rip. And the door opened. He goes, "Levon, really? Just because it's a closed elevator, you shouldn't do that." And he walked out. And my mom first is mortified, absolutely mortified, and then starts laughing hysterically. And my mom and my sister, when they get to laughing, that's it. They're gone. You can't move them. You can't talk to them. They will try to talk, but it's just high pitch sounds. You can't hear anything at that point. Must take steps to avoid them. You're killing me, Smalls. All right, so we have enough. I'll have to cut up enough for just a few more jars. I'm trying to make sure I get these pushed down to be below that half-inch mark. Because if they're not, then the jar is not going to seal. And we want the jar to seal. Pink Cadillac, crushed velvet seats. Something. I'm going to have to go look that up on Spotify now. I really wish they'd find a way around the DCMA. I still haven't figured out how to get Pretzel Rocks working in my thing, so that's why we don't have music and stream. Sorry, guys. You get stuck with me singing made-up songs in my own head and humming lyrics to songs that I don't remember. Someday I'll learn how to Twitch, and I'll learn how to Twitch right. Quick question regarding canning, because it's been a number of years. Which veggies can you water bath versus pressure cook? Any vegetables that you pickle, high vinegar, salt, and becomes a high acid food, can be done in a water bath. If I was doing these green beans to have them for dinner, say, next month or whatever, then they have to be pressure canned. So there is a big difference then. And they all have their own, their own times. Some you can do in quarts and or pints. Others you can only do in pints. So that's why you always want to make sure you follow a safe, tested recipes. And the recipes do change. The recipes do change. Oh, I can't even get it to. I don't even know how to put it on there. I went to their site and I'm like, oh, you have to do this, and I thought I did it, but I guess I didn't. And then somebody else said, I think it was Irisan, who said he had his where he just opens up the web page, plays it in a web page, and then adds a sound source to pick up desktop sounds. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Someday though, I'll figure it out. It'll take me a while. Either that or I'll go find some 12-year-old on the street and, hey kid. Of course the mom will freak out and go, what are you doing? I need your child. You what? I need your child. I need him to handle the technology side for me. Oh, Junior, go along. Okay, so let's bring that up. We'll put our lid back on over here. I don't want to lose all that water that's in there. Matter of fact, I'm going to add some more water in there because it looks like it's a little on the low side. I'll tell you, putting it on this big burner really makes a difference in getting that that stuff to boil quicker. It really makes me happy. Otherwise it takes me forever. Okay, let's see if this gives us enough water. That should be enough. If not, we will add more. I'll turn this up a little bit. All right, let's cut some more green beans real fast. 1/2 inch headspace, right? That's what we all remember? Yes, Kanara, we all remember the 1/2 inch headspace. That's excellent. You all get a gold star. Every last one of you. Huh. That's a blue lake rattlesnake bean. It's not actually a string bean. Interesting. Shows to go you, different things get processed, but they all end up somehow together. All end up together. Pink Cadillac, crushed velvet seats, right in the back. Yes, oozing down the street, waving to the girls, feeling out of sight. Yep, okay. Now I'm going to have to add that to my Spotify thing. Oh my gosh, Erica, that would be amazing. In a few years, I get to borrow Rowan. Rowan, come help Aunt Kanara figure this out. Mom, Kanara's being dumb again. Rowan, you go help her right this minute. Don't you talk like that. Don't you talk like that. Oh, thank you. Oh, you guys always look out for me. I really appreciate it. Well, that's a weird looking bean. Remember, these have all been washed and whatever, but I didn't go through them. So the ones that are like super, super itty bitty skinny, I'm just gonna eat those for dinner. The thicker ones I'm gonna use for the dilly beans. That way they'll retain their crunch. But remember, after these are canned, this is one of those things that after they're canned, gotta wait 2 weeks before you can eat them. Now, do you have to wait 2 weeks? No. Kanara, can I eat them? Will they be safe? Yeah, they'll be safe if you eat them the next day. Well, then why do I have to wait 2 weeks? Well, the reason for that, Johnny, is it's called the Eucetemes. You see, Timmy, the green beans are still pretty raw, right? And they haven't been cooked. They're only going to be cooked 10 minutes, which isn't a very long time in the vinegar. And as they're cooking in there, they're also expelling moisture out. So they're going to be very, very tough. So you want them to absorb that brine back in. So now the flavor is all through the green bean, and they will be much, much better. Oh, did I really do that? I did. I used my sample again. All right. Where's my 1/2 inch mark? You are my new sample. Because apparently I don't know to keep that one separate. This one's pretty curved, so we're just going to do that one. Yeah, I'd love to have music in here because I know people would like it if I stopped singing songs. Springsteen songs, I remember, late 70s. I think it's 80s. Give Rowan a few years, I'm sure. Rowan, I think, might end up being he'd be like the master gardener. He likes to be outside and doing all that. So there you go, Erica. You teach him to be the gardener, and then you're the chef. Now you have all these wonderful fresh things to cook with. I'll get you canning. Man, you guys would have like your own little commune thing. You've got Kojo for all the woodworking stuff and taking care of all that stuff, and then you've got your gardener, your little gardener dude. My little gardener dude. Does that mean you'll bring some camping? Yeah, I'll bring up some camping. Yeah, I'll bring some with me. We can try. We'll do a taste test up there. We'll see how they, hopefully they'll set long enough. I've had some of them have to set longer. So if you open a jar up and they're not quite done yet, and they're still a little too crunchy, just put them in the fridge. Just put them in the fridge, let them go a little bit longer and they'll be just fine. You're just waiting for them to soften up, and the vinegar does that. All right, so that's probably one full jar there. I still need 4 more jars of beans. Man, I'm going to add some more stuff over there to the vinegar stuff. Do you guys want to, do you guys like tuna? Do you guys want a jar of tuna too? Try some home canned tuna? Let me know. Let me know, I'll hook you up. I can be the alarm system when there is an intruder. Wait a minute. He just got a cookbook and was very excited to stick note all the recipes. I'm telling you, we need that baked in commune. I agree. Speaking of gardening, I need to get out and water and weed. Oh, come on over here, Purple. I could really use your help. I could really, really use your help. Okay. My blackberries, I don't know what it is. They are really late coming in this year. I need to, I'm already, this time 2 years ago, did I do it again? I think I did it again. Can't take me anywhere. I think this is the better one. That's the better one. I really want to get some blackberries picked. I want to get a batch of my blackberry barbecue sauce going. I need to get a lot of batches of my blackberry jam going. Yes, Vanilla Hush, hello, happy Wednesday to you. I'm glad I found your channel. I hope to watch again. Oh, Visual Purple, thank you so much. I'm really glad you found the channel too. Join that Discord too if you'll know when I'm going live. I usually stream on Sundays and Wednesdays. I'm going to be adding a just talking or just chatting stream here probably on Friday mornings, I think. I don't know. I haven't figured out that one quite yet. I'm working on that one. Come on, one more, get in there. Get in there, there you go, okay. Get these out of my way. I heard someone say my name. Say my name. Say it. Say my name. Time to walk out of Kanara's kitchen. She's starting to freak out on people. I gotta get that pork belly curing too. If the pork belly does not cure in time for Wednesday's stream, I will take full pictures of it and make sure everybody can see it, in the Discord. But I'm really hoping it'll be ready for Wednesday's stream. But it all depends on how the nitrates do their thing. Sometimes they take a little longer, depending on how much fat is in the pork belly itself. So remember we had that conversation of nitrates versus nitrites. I am using prog powder number 1, which is nitrite, 6.25% nitrite, and salt. Salt alone, back in the day we used to cure meat with just salt. And for large cuts of meat, or thick cuts of meat, or meat in high fat, there wasn't enough sodium in the salt to cure the meat, and so people got, very, very sick. Also, the meat looked very, very gray. It was very, very boring, looking very ugly, not really attractive at all. And it was discovered by accident because of some sea salt that had some nitrites in it. That using the nitrites, one, the cured meat retained that pretty pink, color that we know of in cured meats. Your bacons and your some of your sausages, like the summer sausages. But for small cuts of meat, not small cuts of meat, if you're doing something that's only going to be, that's going to be a hard one to do, so you're going to have to be a shorty. If you're doing things that are just going to be cured 24 hours or so, you can use Morton Quick Salt. It's a very low concentration of nitrite to retain the color. Nitrites also prevent bacteria from growing on the surface of meats. Because remember, you're letting this meat sit in your refrigerator for a very long time. And lipid oxidation, which is what happens, it resists or stops the lipid oxidation, which is what happens to fats, and that's what causes your fats to go rancid. Ooh, I don't need that. That's a leaf. Don't need a leaf. So nitrites we use for things that we're curing for under 10 days. Bacon, pancetta. These are all things that are cured. Some softer sausages, things that don't have to be cooked afterwards, right? So with nitrates is a combination of salt, nitrites, and nitrates. Those are for your really long cures. Those are for things like if you're doing prosciutto, if you're doing big hams, hard salamis. Those are all things that you would use nitrates for. And the nitrates versus nitrites. So it's like, well, why can't I just use more nitrates instead of the nitrite? Why can't I use more nitrites than using the nitrates? Why do I have to use prog powder number 2? Well, that's because as the moisture is being drawn out of the meat, the nitrites are consumed by good bacteria. And this happens usually within 24 days to 7 to 10 days. Well, in that time, if the nitrites are all taken up by taking out the surface portion, we're talking about 1 inch to 2 inches into that ham, all your nitrites are consumed, the center of that ham still isn't cured. So we have nitrites which start the work on the outside edge immediately. Let's get that outside protected as fast as we can so that the nitrates can further penetrate in through osmosis, further penetrate in, be converted to nitrites, which then pull that moisture out from the center of that meat. So your big cuts of meat, you want to use a prog powder number 2, and for your smaller cuts of meat, think pork belly, even the center cut of a pork loin, not pork tenderloin. I'm talking about when you're doing Canadian bacon, you'll do a pork loin and you'll use just the center portion of it. And those can all be used with nitrites instead of nitrates. Now, they should be used exactly as a recipe calls for them to be used, and this is because, you know, they're not, oh, that's an ugly bean. That's a half a bean. Large quantities can be unhealthy, so we want to make sure that we're using what is recommended to be used. Okay, I want to go get some of the other beans from over there because these are all getting to be little skinny little beans. Little skinny beans. There we go. Yeah, it's good stuff. You will like it. You will like it. You'll like it a lot. There's that guy on TikTok. He always is correcting people's grammar. And so he shows the back car of a window, like where somebody wrote in the back of the window of the car that says, "I graduated from collage" instead of college. He's like, oh no, it says I'm going to college, but it says I'm going to collage. He goes, "I'm going to college. I'm going to college." Really? Are you sure? Perhaps you should go back to high school. I love grammar. It is the best. I like it a lot, all the time. That guy just cracks me up. taking stuff you find on the internet and then just making fun of it. I mean, he doesn't make fun of like the people, which is, you know, I appreciate. Oh, Ankelbach, thank you for that follow. No, it's not Ankelbach, Ankh. Would that be, is it Ankh? I can't wait till I have my own garden so I'll be able to can every season. Oh, I'm telling you, it is fantastic. You will, okay, I guess my chat completely froze. I didn't realize my chat froze, so I just refreshed it. Derek, have you seen UPS yet? Yeah. They're here right now? No. Oh, they came earlier? Oh. So I'm really, really excited. So it's going to be kind of wonky for a couple of streams, but we found a sink that we think is going to work. So I'm getting rid of my standard, it's a sink that's about this big, but this half is like about this big, you know, like a standard hole for like a regular sink. And it's got this little itty bitty weird thing where the garbage disposal is that serves absolutely no purpose whatsoever. And that sink is going away, and I've got a big one basin sink, and I'm really, really excited about that. Okay, I don't think we need a whole lot more. Vanilla, when you get ready to can, you let me know. And understand this, don't wait for your own garden. Find a U-Pick farm, farmer's market. Farmers markets, when they bring that produce out there, they want to sell it. And if you go up and their green beans say we'll say $1 a pound, and you ask them, how many pounds do you think are right there? Oh, I don't know, it's probably 25 pounds. And if I buy all 25 pounds, then how much does it cost me? And he might say 50 cents a pound. Yeah. You take that offer and you run home and you make some pickled green beans and some savory green beans, and you don't look back. Do you hear me? You don't look back. Ever. I have not gotten out my cookie sheet for the... So pork bellies at Costco, everything's gone up in price, as we all know. I used to buy pork bellies at Costco for $1.79 a pound. The one I bought before this was $2.79 a pound, and the one I got yesterday, or day before yesterday rather, was $3.99 a pound. I about choked. But for me to buy, I don't know how much bacon is in your stores, you know, right now. Bacon out here is about anywhere between the cheap, not so good bacon, which is like $7.50 a pound, to the really good bacon, which is almost $9 a pound. This is why I make my own bacon. And then I can season it the way I want. I don't have to have their seasoning. I can do it the way I want to. I mean, you still have to have the nitrites, you still have to have your salt, and you still have to have thyme, but all right, let's see where we're at on these. Let's see where we're at on these. I sure will. I used to make pickles with a family member, but she died, and I have 2 jars. Oh, that is awesome. I mean, I'm sorry. Not that she passed away. That's sad. I'm sorry. But the fact that you still want to do that and honor that is amazing. So some of these beans in this batch are not as pretty. I'm going through and pulling out all the ones that I think look hideous. You look hideous. All right, let's see where we're at on these, and then I know, they just sounded off like, Kadar, what are you saying? Okay, that one's too long. That one's too long. Can't remember if I put garlic in this jar. Normally I have my music going when I'm canning, or I'm listening to a podcast. I am hooked on this podcast right now called Let's Go to Court. And these two gals talk about old cases, and some of them are pretty interesting cases. And I like how they joke at themselves. One had a semester of law school, one had a semester of something else, and they both go, and we're two experts. So they actually make fun of themselves. If I took one of my parents' briskets and canned it, do you think it would keep? So you want to make your own like corned beef? I have a recipe for corned beef. Or do you have a brisket? Now is this a raw brisket? Is this a brisket that's been smoked? Because we don't can smoked meats. If you do fish or anything like that, you only partially smoke it before you can it. Man, that was not going the way I wanted to. Get in there. You're talking about something they've already prepped and cooked. That's my question to you. The one thing is when these things get bent, man, they just go crazy. Love your stream. Just check bacon prices here. Oh, Switzerland, 19 US per pound for the good stuff. Holy schmoly. Holy schmoly. So, Bach, do you have access? By the way, welcome into the stream. And I am in the state of Oregon, US, which is on the west coast of Oregon. We're right above the state of California, if you know where California is. And I'm glad you joined in today. Some of these didn't get cut as good as they should have. Man, none of these got cut as good as they should have. I don't like any of those. Do over. Do over. I just want to have a pantry full of everything. Honestly, it's smoked. So yes, smoked meats, the reason why we don't do smoked meats is when meat is smoking, it forms a pellicle on the meat. And that does not allow for good penetration of water. Even though you're cutting it into chunks, you still don't get as good. All right, let's see if this works better. Yeah, on smoked, like smoked trout and smoked tuna and salmon, we only smoke the meat for maybe 20 minutes, if that, and pull it off and then process it. I love, matter of fact, we just did a BLT stream, so I went through almost 3 pounds of bacon for a stream. Luckily, we ate, a lot of it. I think that's the hardest thing about food and drink streaming versus gaming streaming is there's an upfront cost. And dishes. There's an upfront cost and there's dishes. The more you teach me, the better. Oh, Vanilla, I adore you. You always put such a smile on my face. And you guys know, anytime you have questions at all, you let me know. I will even help people do canning via Discord. So if you want to share your screen and have me there in the kitchen with you and looking at your jars and whatnot and going over the recipe with you, I am happy to do that. If I can make one person learn how to can safely and enjoy it, especially the fruits of your labor, man, that's huge for me. Okay, I think these are all going to be too long as well. I think I cut those ones on an angle. Let's see this one. one's going to be... That's the one thing. If they're not at that right level, they will push up on the lid as they're processing, and they can cause an issue with them, with the jar actually sealing. Just going to take off a little bit more there. Oh, I will say, Derek is absolutely wonderful about that. He actually comes in when stream is over and does all my dishes. Not all of them, because if there's like there are some streams, as we all know, if you're a food and drink streamer, you can attest to this. There are some streams where the dishes are out of control, and I mean out of control. You're like, what the heck? Did I empty out every cupboard I had to make that silly dish for stream? I can't believe that. And yeah, I can't have him do all those dishes. That's just crazy. What's that song? This is crazy. I get all these songs in my head and I can't remember what they are. And you guys are all probably thinking, thank goodness. Thank goodness. We don't need it, Kanara. Don't sing to us. We got it. We already have our music playing in the background as it is. Ooh, that's an ugly one. All right, so we need enough for one more jar and just to kind of fill up this one here. Sweet. And then I will eat the rest of these. Okay, so I got to get one that's going to be exactly level, exactly where I need it to be. Let's see if that does it. I need a new measurement one. All right, that's my new measurement one. I think it's because I didn't line all these up right. But I can get you in this. Oh, I bet I can get you in that one. T. Gomez, hello. How are you this Wednesday? It's kind of quiet right now. It takes a while to do pickling stuff, so I know folks are probably multitasking and other wonderful streamers that are fun to watch. There's a lot of fun streamers out there, I gotta say. Food and drink community, man, is just amazing. Absolutely just amazing. Come on, I know I can fit two more in here. And that's my current Discord link in that there. And if you guys notice on my screen down the lower left, I think it's the lower left of your screen, right? Lower right, like right around here somewhere. You see the Spice House logo? So I am now part of the Spice House. So if you do ! Spices, and you guys want to buy spices in bulk, which I recommend because it's so much cheaper to buy them in bulk, and you can put them into a mason jar or whatever, but you'll save yourself a lot of money than buying the stuff in the grocery store. And the other stuff about the stuff in the grocery store, how long has it been sitting on that shelf? You know, spices only last so long, but I go through them like crazy. When I make a lot of my own spice blends and my own spice rubs, and I can't go buy those little bitty bottles at the grocery store. Those things are just crazy. So so if you guys need spices, do ! Spice, and that will give you my link to the Spice House, and you can buy your spices. That's still kind of, that's an ugly one. I have to straighten this bean out and see if it's really, yes, okay. Oh, do you guys, for those that just popped in, the new apron, Lori62 sent that to me. Which I thought was, I like the fact that it has the US flag on it, because I get a lot of people who ask, where am I streaming from? And this way they can see the flag and they'll know I'm in the US. So many places I want to visit. But I have been very fortunate to visit a few places. My daughter's been all over the world. I mean, all over the world. She will have great memories of that forever. Furball Micah, how are you? What's new with you? Yeah, that's the link. That's my link to Penzeys. Not Penzeys Spices. The Spice House. I was talking about Penzeys earlier because I've ordered through Penzeys. I've ordered through the Spice House. I've ordered through Savory Spice. I always go back to the Spice House. Always, always, always. Their quality is just fantastic. And like I said, you know, if you pour ingredients into a dish, you're going to get and you know, a lot of people don't realize. They sit there and say, well, I put all the seasonings they told me to put in the recipe, and it didn't really taste like anything. Chances are the spices were too old and didn't have their pop of flavor. But I order their flat packs. The pepper I order in the big packs because we go through a lot of pepper. And the other ones I order in like the little 4-ounce packs or 2-ounce packs in the flat pack. And then I keep all my own jars, and I just refill my jars. Makes it easy peasy. And the flat packs stack really nice in my pantry. Nice indeed. Nice indeed. Auntie Corliss coming in with a raid. My alerts are not working. I apologize. Hello, thank you for coming in and bringing your family over here. What did you stream today, and how did your stream go? We canned some lovely pickled carrots that are cooling on the counter behind me. Mish Mish coming in with a 3-month gifted sub. Oh, wait. Mish Mish, 3-month gifted sub courtesy of DJ has entered month number 2. That's right, I forgot DJ gave you the 3-month thing. Oh, Mish Mish, how are you? Oh, thank you, Erica, for doing that shout out. I appreciate that. So what did you stream today, Auntie? Auntie, tell me about your stream. Tell me what you did. So tell me what you streamed, what you really, really streamed. I'll tell you what I streamed, what I really, really streamed. And I can honestly say that, yes, I have been to a Spice Girl concert when my daughter was 12. We took her. Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Oh, Mish Mish. How are you? Can we get a shout out for Mish Mish, please? I love your energy, Mish Mish. When you are on stream, you are just absolutely delightful. Well, what a crappy bean you are. Get in there, you're being canned. Get it, I'm getting it. I'm going to get in there, I'm going to get it done. I'm going to get it done. I was streaming some Photoshop. Oh, are you like one of those people who really knows how to do Photoshop? Oh my gosh. For a Loki cosplay, I just watched episode 1 yesterday. Just watched episode 1 yesterday. So by the way, guys, each one of these jars is about 1.5 cloves of garlic sliced, about 6 small little blossoms off some fresh dill, 3 or 4, I gotta take that, 3 or 4 peppercorns, and then I've got this mixture over here, which is an equal portion of white vinegar and water and some canning salt. And I'm going to have to add some more to this because I think it's getting a little low. So we are canning. You teach Photoshop actually? Oh my gosh. Auntie, will you send me a PM, please, so I don't forget, will you send me a PM with your Twitch link, please, so I can go follow you when I get done here? That would be awesome sauce. That would be awesome sauce. So we are canning, we just canned, these are still pretty hot. Yeah, these are still pretty warm. We did some pickled carrots, so we have our pickled carrots. I teach food safety and home food preservation through Oregon State University, and so today I've got carrots and green beans. People wanted to learn how to do some pickles, so I thought, well, what the heck? I'm low on my stock, so let's get it done. So I only did 5 jars of the carrots. I have a lot more beans, but I'm only going to do a canner full of beans. So I've got 8 jars here. Yeah, 8 jars of the dilly beans, and then I'll do another 8 off stream. I won't make y'all suffer through 8. As soon as I get these in the canner, I'm going to start my cure on my pork belly. So we're going to get our pork belly going. Oh, very much. I love to watch streams like that. I can't watch just all food and drink. You know, we got to have variety in our life. And a lot of the food and drink streamers I watch are all because they do things that I don't do. Like the girl who bakes, you know, is a baker. Oh, she does a lot more than just baking. I mean, she also plays games and does some really, really good meals too. Get in there. Get in there. Come on. Okay. Are we all in there? Are y'all happy? One last bean. Oh, did you guys hear my stomach growl? What? Who told you that? I told you that. Salty Julie, hello. Oh my gosh, my hair is a lot lighter now. It's really faded compared to what it was like. Because I had it done back in May. I've made it to 1,000 followers, and now what? So we did a fun stream where in the Discord I put the different color hair choices, and they all chose the colors of the phoenix. So I have the red, the purple, and the orange. And good times, good times. All right. Oh, I just got water all over that. That is my outline. Okay, well, let's just kind of let you dry off over here so we don't lose you over there. So now we're going to fill these up. I need 8 lids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Remember, these lids were just washed in warm soapy water. They do not have to be boiled anymore like they used to be boiled. We used to have to simmer them in water. We don't have to do that now. Lids are a commodity. If any of you are in the grocery store, Target, Walmart, and you find ball canning lids, that's just the flat part of the lid, and you find regular size, you find wide mouth size, I will pay to have you buy them and ship them to me. I am desperate for lids right now because I am running out, because I gave a lot of mine away last year because people didn't have anything to can with. They're like, what do we do? I had one lady who just bought 60 pounds of tuna and couldn't do her tuna because she didn't have any lids. And so I met her down at the office. I said, here, take these. And I just gave her my lids. And all right. Where's my ladle? Ladle, 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 with ladle I will play. Ladle, 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 it's hiding from me today. Oh, serious face. Okay, I don't know where, don't know where the ladle is, ain't gonna worry about it. You know what, we're just gonna add another batch of brine because I'm afraid that's gonna be too concentrated now. It's been sitting there a little too long. Wait, place. How do you? Okay, that's not the one we were doing, right? It's 2.5 and 2.5 1/4, if I remember correctly. 2.5, 2.5 1/4. Okay. Because I'm going to save. I'll just save whatever's left over for. Wrong one. Oh, I love the smell of apple cider vinegar. Remember, we talked about that too. Not all apple cider vinegars are the same. Heinz is the worst of the apple cider vinegars you can purchase. There's 2. And a half. So if you're using apple cider vinegar for flavor, read the ingredients. The apple cider vinegar that's done by Heinz is I just need a half in there and then 1/4 cup of this salt. There we go. This will come to boil real quick. I've got it on high. And 1/4 cup of salt. All right, so that's on high. Okay, so new question here. I don't think I've eaten anything except canned peaches from a farmer. What do canned carrots and beans taste like, and what do you do when you serve them? Good, that's an excellent question. So there's two different ways that you can actually can carrots. So the carrots that I did today are pickled. So they have been done with a mixture of pickling salt, vinegar, sugar, and a little bit of water, all done to specific ratios because we want to make sure that it's going to be safe. We want to make sure that we're keeping bacteria at bay. And they have mustard seed and celery seed. So they're like a pickled carrot. A little bit sweet because carrots are naturally sweet, plus it's got the sugar in there. So they're not as pickly flavor. These are going to be pickled green beans. So they actually have dill flour in here, peppercorn and garlic. So they're going to taste like a green bean married a dill pickle type thing. But if you can these plain with nothing in them, you can can them just in water, you could can them in chicken stock, and you put them into a pressure canner because when they have all the vinegar and sugar, they're a low acid food and you can put them into a water bath. But if they are a high acid food, so you can put them in a water bath. If they're a low acid food because you want them for savory, because maybe you want to throw them into a pan with some bacon and have them for dinner, those have to be done in a pressure canner. So there's two different avenues. So pickled is, that one's too tall. Pickled is really, they will taste pickly. They don't necessarily, excuse me, I have the hiccups. They don't necessarily all taste like dill unless you add dill to them. Otherwise, they're just going to have that nice tangy brine. But I love putting the dilly beans, I love just eating them as they are because they're fantastic. But I love chopping them up and putting them into a potato salad. Or you can chop them up even finer and put them into deviled eggs. But anything you use pickle things, serve them as a side dish with dinner. They're absolutely fantastic. New Vision, hey, how are you? Lovely to see you. Auntie, did you send me that PM? Bach, anytime at all. If you have questions about canning, you just have to let me know, where you live. I don't need an address. I need to know what your elevation is. I need to know if you're in Canada, if you're in Europe, if you're in the East, if you're here in the US, and that way, because if I don't have safe tested recipes for you, I know where to find them. I know where to find Maya Marriott, thank you so much for that follow. I appreciate that. Gosh, you guys are just troopers, I gotta say. Oh my gosh, it's 4 o'clock. We gotta get this party started because I have got, that's simmering. Where is my, serious face, where is my ladle? It's not I didn't put it in the dishwasher because that's just for the jars that I put on the rinse cycle. Unless my husband threw it in there. No, he did not. It's not in the sink. It's not. Oh, it's over here in this thing. Derp. You guys. Who's hiding that from me? Who was doing that? Who was doing that? Okay, so this is going to be a 1/2 inch headspace as well, correct? Do we all? I'm not adding the. Combine 1/2 inch headspace. Okay, so we're going to put this here. I'm going to get these all together. Don't need you anymore, but thank you for being there for me, little 1/2 cup thing. I appreciate that. I appreciate you, little 1/2 cup. You have no idea. You have no idea. I'm happy. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you. We've got carrots back here that we just finished up. These are sweet and savory carrot. Yeah, that jar is still really, really hot. I'm not going to have any fingerprints. So we have our pickled carrots. These things are just amazing. Just amazing. Now we're getting ready to do our dilly beans. I'm not doing spicy dilly beans because I find if I just leave them as dilled beans, people like them better because if they don't know they're going to be spicy. And some people, they can handle a little bit of spice, but they can't handle a lot. And the spicy recipe calls for 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper to each one of these. That's a lot of cayenne pepper. So I am just hubby sabotage. It makes sense that you have to keep the elevation in mind. Yes, some recipes change in processing time for every 1,000 feet. Some recipes don't change until 2,000 feet. It depends on the food. Lolly Doll, thank you for that follow. I appreciate that. All right, so let's get our brine going in here. We're just going to get vinegar out everywhere. I will go through and check the I'll make sure all that salt is dissolved. Yep, okay. It's just air bubbles on the bottom. Like I said, after we make these will not be ready to eat for about 2 weeks. And if I was smart, I would have turned all these jars to face me the right way so I could see the tines. Because we talked about the measurement by utilizing the tines. And I will have pictures of that in my Discord as well. So if you guys have not followed the Discord, exclamation point menu does have my new Discord logo link in there. Discord and I have a love-hate relationship right now. Just like my alerts. My alerts were working fine 10 minutes before I went on. The minute I hit live, my alert stopped working. And OBS did an update today. So I'm not sure. Oops, that's probably a little too full. My prediction is the beans with the little tines straight up will not seal. I'm going to turn that off. All right, so this one, let's turn these around so I can see all the tines. It makes me quick, that's so I can quickly see if we're at a half inch elevation. Oh my gosh, we're just talking about elevation. Now I've got that stuck in my brain housing group. Okay, there's that one. All right. This one is too full. This one's too. Sorry guys, I'm not looking at chat right this very second. I just want to make sure I got all my. This is one thing you can't fudge on. You cannot fudge on the headspace. It must be exact. No less, no more. Kanara. Oh, good question. Hang on. I imagine eating it the next day won't have the same as waiting a few months. Wait a minute, wait, I gotta scroll up. Is there an ideal minimum time to wait until you eat preserved foods? On some foods, yes. So some foods, like these green beans, I am not going to eat for at least 2 weeks. And that's because over the time of the processing time, when I put these in here, they're gonna get real skinny and they're gonna be real stringy. And they're not going to be palatable at all. They're going to be very sinewy. And over time, the vinegar is going to soften the beans and make them more palatable. Otherwise, most all foods, asparagus, green beans, are things that you want to wait at least 2 weeks. Set it and forget it type thing. But most all things you can eat right away after you've canned them. The meats you can eat right away. If you make like a batch of peaches or a batch of pears or something like that, you can eat right away. Just some things, because of the tough nature of them and the process. See, that one looks really bad. Let's get that one. Get that one real quick. So yeah, definitely make sure you wait on these. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Erica, for flagging me on that. I appreciate that. Normally I don't miss chat. Well, there was that one time. I didn't realize my chat wasn't refreshing at all. And I was just like, oh, okay, nobody's chatting right now. So I just kept going, talking to myself and the whole bit. And then all of a sudden it refreshed. And it was like, okay, so apparently I missed out on a lot of conversation. And my mods are amazing. They'll call me out on it. There is no... Oh, those are minis. All right, let's bring this up. I want to get that up higher. Remember, where you're not, we're just going to put the ring on. The minute it grabs, we're just going to go just a tiny skosh more. I don't like how that lid's... I don't like how that one's grabbing. This is going to do the same thing, I bet. Don't like that one either. Some of these lids are old and they have rust on the outside edges, and that can inhibit how they attach to the jars. Oh, that one, look at that, look at that. That was a beautiful sound. Philo, hello. I was working and lurking. I heard you talk about a shortage of lids. So the ones that are for sale on Walmart and Amazon, particularly Amazon, they're not real ball lids. They are knockoffs. They're coming in cheap plastic bags and they're oily, and so we're telling people not to buy lids on Amazon right now. And these are from various sellers. You know, we don't know if they're legit. Ball does not sell their product on Amazon. I'm just going for that one feels good. Remember, I'm not tightening these. We don't cinch these down. We just tighten them enough to grab. Always use caution when putting jars in. You're dealing with boiling water. And I don't want anybody to get burned. So 8 pints will usually fit into a water bath canner. And this is going to hurt. This is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you guys. And that's going to really hurt because my finger's going to go right into that boiling water. And I want to keep my fingerprints where they're at. Let's see if I can get this in here without compromising that. Yes. All right. Let's get some pork belly going. We know to get carbonara for Christmas. Ooh, what are we getting carbonara for Christmas? Lids. Lids. Lids, 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 lids. Okay, we're going to slowly lower this in because the jars will start to float. We don't want them to fall over. All right, that's in. Let's get that lid on, get these boiling. When you first put it in, a lot of people start the timer because they think the water is boiling. But it's the air coming out because the bottom of the jar is convex, so that it's air coming out from that bottom bubble. It's the air coming out from inside the jar a little bit is already being forced out. So it's not boiling yet. All right, let's get this. We'll leave this here. I don't know, I probably will need my knife. Let's give you a quick washy wash. Although all you have on there is green beans, but green beans grow in the dirt. Well, not in the dirt, but come on, get off of there. All right. I'm going to bring out my big. So all these little ends, all these little bits, there's some in here that have stems. I'll get rid of these. But all these little bits and all these little pieces, I'm thinking about green bean soup. That just sounds really good right now. You can fry those up, saute those up. So this, oh here, we'll do that when we do our, And we're going to set this for 10 minutes. When that starts boiling, I will hit start. And I'm going to get my plastic cutting board over here because I'm going to be doing a big old pork belly. So per pig, you get 2 pork belly. Pork belly is the underside, thus pork belly, right there by the belly side. And that's the most popular. You can make bacon out of pig jowls, which is really good bacon, by the way. Really good bacon. Very, very, very tender. And I don't have my washing rag out, so that's okay. Yeah, so the girl who bakes, somebody was asking about carrying of cutting boards, and I was mentioning Kojo's woodworking skills, and I thought, I don't know if he's selling that butter. Let me get this out of here too. Please don't burn my hands. Oh. Ooh. He's shooby dooby 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 dooby. Okay, get out of the way. That's a little bit warm. A little bit warm. All right, so where's my phone for my pork belly? My pork belly. Going to my paprika app. I'm going to type in bacon. My home cured bacon. Okay. Pork belly. Fat cap. That's on the belly part. That's like, if you think of me as a pig standing up on my feet, this is one side of the belly, evisceration, and you get the other side of the belly. So the skin would normally be on top of this, and then you got that fat cap. Oh, that's right there. It took the fun. Oh, you know what? I understand that. If it's not fun, don't do it. Hands down, don't do it. It's not worth it. And no matter how much people whine or beg or whatever, you tell him to stick true to his guns. If anybody gives him any crap, you tell him Kanara said. Not that that holds any weight, but. Okay, Kanara, whatever. So I'm going to need some of these peppercorns. All right, so we are going to need 4 teaspoons of pink curing salt, aka Prague powder #1. So this is what you use for things that you are going to cure for over 24 hours. You can use it for a shorter cure, but anything that's not going to be cured longer than 10 days. Anything longer than 10 days, you want Prague powder #2. Okay, that's a very important safety thing. This salt has red dye added to it to make it pink. Sorry, timer. Turn that down a little bit. We don't want a super crazy boil. We just want a nice boil. Prague pink curing salt is not to be confused with Himalayan pink salt. I mean, yeah, look at that. They're both pretty pink. This is pure salt and minerals, but this is pure salt and minerals. This is not for curing. Okay, I'm happy with you. So we're gonna mix all this up. 8 tablespoons of pepper. I gotta get my spice grinder out. 8 teaspoons of paprika, 4 teaspoons of pink curing salt. So basically, we are doing 1 teaspoon of pink curing salt. This is how many pounds? This is 11.5 pounds, and this is for a 12-pound pork belly. So if it wants 4 teaspoons, I'll probably do scant 4 teaspoons. I don't want to use more than I have to. Don't want to use more than I have to, but I'm not going to do that on. I'm going to actually do this on a. or not. Actually, oh, I ordered that canning book you have there. It should be arriving in the next few days. Which one? By Ball? The ball preserving? This one or this one? This one? Or this one? Your left hand, this one here. This is a great book. Love this book. Is this the one that has the chow chow recipe, or is it the other one that has the chow chow recipe? Also known as Piccadilly, which is just pickled peppers and onions, a little bit of sugar. Oh, best stuff ever on sandwiches. So I need to make, slap that pork belly. This is pork belly drumming 101. Yogomi would be so proud right now. I'm drumming on a pork belly. Drumming on a pork belly. So what we are going to do is so this has to be cured in a baggie. I'm not going to get rid of them. We're just going to put these over here and enjoy those later. This can go over here. This can go on my belly. Yeah, what's nice about that book, Erica, is it also gives you recipes on, hey, so you've made these canned goods. Now what are you going to do with them? I'm going to take them to Disneyland. No. But I'm going to get these, put these over here. This one's more expensive. It's through the NCHFP, which is the National Center for Home Food Preservation. That's where 90% of all the testing does. USDA doesn't have the funding to do the testing anymore. So University of Georgia gets grants through their extension, and they do a lot of the testing. But this is a really, really good book. I think there's only one change in it. I'd have to go through and find the recipe. I think it has to do with pie fillings, if I remember correctly. It has to do with pie fillings. So this may not fit in here. So could I'm going to cut it in half. But what I'm thinking is, if I cut the bag here, put another bag in there, could I, oh, see, but ceiling is only so wide. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I am going to take, well, why don't you just put it in the stupid thing and use the cutter, Kanara? That's brilliant. What made you think of that? Ooh, it's way too happy. Way too happy. Slow your roll. I think I'll keep that so I have an idea. I might just square it off. I'll just square off one side to make sure it's going to fit. But this board's not going to cut it. So we're going to have to use my wood board, which means I will wash it and bleach it and then let it thoroughly dry. Or I could cover it with parchment paper. These are the icky pieces on the top anyway. Let's do that. Three minutes left on that. wash my hands real quick. I gotta get out my paprika. Oh my gosh, I thought my microphone was gonna fall off into the water. That would have sucked so bad. We're gonna make up our spice mixture, and then it's going to go evenly over the entire mixture. But see, now this has come out and it's expanded. So we need to, because see, that's gotta go. That means I'm going to have to cut off a whole section. Okay, we're going to cut off a section, and I'm going to use that in a recipe for something later. Waste not. Oops, wrong knife. Waste not, want not. 2 minutes. I'm not calling that out for you guys. I'm calling it out so it puts a timer in my head and I can remember. It's like, okay, gotta kind of be aware. Okay, so we're going to cut off, actually, which end do I want to cut this off of? Yeah, we'll cut it off. I'm going to use that fat. I'm going to use that fat cap. So I am going to cut this straight down. Hey, slowly roll. So you can see there's a lot of fat there. I can render all that fat out, or I can do these as chunks on the grill and do like a burnt end on the grill, on the smoker, not on the grill. This, I'm going to put into a baggie. Let's see, this hand is icky. This hand is not. And why is my sandwich baggie thing stuck in here? This in half this way. There we go. Okay, so now I have to remeasure. I need to weigh this and see how much we're taking off of this, because my weight measurement is based on that full pork belly, which was over 11.5 pounds. Ah, geez Louise. Okay. Lid comes off. These now set for 5 minutes to acclimate. Sorry guys, had to move that out of the way. So let's weigh out our pork belly. I want to make sure that the nitrites are what they're supposed to be. So we're going to do this. We're going to do this. All right. So we were at 11.5. This is where cooking gets to do math. 11.5 times 16 equals, that's 184 ounces. So now minus 1.7 equals, we're now at 9.8. So let's readjust our recipe. Oops. Wait, I can't do, oh, there's my scale. Let's do scale of 3. Let's say close. Okay, that works. That works. That works perfect. Okay. Three minutes on the canner. Now, if you don't have a smoker, guys, and you want to do bacon, you don't have to have a smoker, okay? But you want to add a little bit of liquid smoke to your seasoning to give it that smoky flavor, because you can finish the process in your oven. This is going to go on a smoker in about 7 to 9 days. And let's see. Well, no, we're not going to be smoking this on Wednesday, because Wednesday it might be done with the brine, but then it has to sit out in your refrigerator completely uncovered for at least 24 hours, because we're building a pellicle on the top of this. So I will probably be smoking this on Friday is when I'll actually be smoking this. But if my brine goes longer, then we can actually, I can show you guys on Sunday how we're going to do this. You're going to cure it on a smoker at about 225 for about 3 hours. About 3 hours we'll do it. Okay, where are we at on our time? 2 minutes. 2 minutes out. Let's move this thing off of there. There we go. We're going to cut this in half. Yeah. One minute. And if you don't know how they make liquid smoke, don't ask, oh, did you see that too? I watched that whole thing on how they make liquid smoke. That was like, because I honestly was like, hey, I bet there's a way to make liquid smoke. Come on, it can't be that hard. And how those giant kettle drums and how long they have to cook to get like 1 ounce. I'm really surprised this stuff is not more expensive than it is. I am really, really surprised at that. Okay, hang on. I gotta take those jars out. I'm really, really surprised that they are not more, that it isn't more expensive. It's a tedious process. But you know, they have a faster version of it on YouTube. And I think it's kind of good to see these things, because it kind of gives us a whole appreciation when we're doing stuff. We're like, oh, okay, now I get it. Now I get it. Let me throw this portion in the sink, because that is icky poo ick. Get in there. And where are my gloves? 10 seconds. This is the one where it gets the most iffy on the ones that don't seal. And if they don't seal, put them in the fridge. You can still give them away. Oops. You can still give them away as gifts. You just, oops. There we go. Just give them away as gifts, but you know, take them out of your fridge. When you take them over to your neighbors, you can still hand them a jar of the dilly beans, even though they're cold, and you tell them, these aren't meant to be put into the pantry, so make sure you put these into your fridge, and you can enjoy them at any time. So, I want to do this with my hands because it makes it so much easier. One of them siphoned a little bit. Oh, shoot. Come on. Come on. Just get my fingers around it. That's all I need to do. It's so much easier for me to use my hands and use. Come on. This will put water on your floor, so you know, use caution. Pop, pop. That is the sound. Oh, come on, don't fall over now. There you go. Remember, you don't want to tip these over to dump any water that is standing on top of the jars. Here, you stay in the middle so you don't. Nope, oops. I love these silicone gloves. They're not real bendy, but it's a lot easier than, all right. I'm just going to take a paper towel. I'm not going to push on these. There's one there that I can already tell that one's not going to seal. But if it does, great. If it doesn't, we'll eat them sooner. 2 that aren't going to seal. And that's only because that's years of experience. Some can take up, they say it can take up to 24 hours to seal, but let's get that out of there, and I'm going to put that lid on that so that's not. Dun, 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 dun. I don't like to leave the rack in the water because they can rust. I'm just going to put the lid on that so that doesn't keep giving me a steaming facial. All right, we need paprika. Now I'll get my big paprika. I'm going to put that other stuff through the spice grinder. Where is my paprika? Paprika. This is how the flat packs come from the Spice House. So they have this wonderful, wait, okay, hang on, hold up. Pantry elf. Oh my gosh. Hang on. My alerts aren't, I'm just dropping stuff in the pantry. My alerts aren't working. Oh my gosh. King Kitchen. Hello, how are you? I only have 1 minute, but want to send you love. Pantry elf, right back at you, girl. Right back at you. Are you streaming tonight? What are you streaming? What are you streaming tonight? Thank you so much for those bits. Oh, thank you so much, Girl Who Bakes. I appreciate that. Just stop in for the second I have. Oh my gosh. So, what are you getting ready to stream, Pantry? I got to know. But she might already be gone because I know that when she gets in the zone, she is in the zone. All right, so we need 3 tablespoons of, gosh, I just got all excited over that. Okay, so we need 6 tablespoons of pepper. So I'm going to grind up a bunch of pepper to make 6 tablespoons. You could do this. You're going to end up with a shoulder even. Jedi Spidey, hello, how are you? I'm just going to put some of this in here. Anything that's extra, I just use as I'm cooking. I hope this isn't too loud. But I have a way I might be able to make it a little bit more quiet. Oh, geez Louise, that scared me. I didn't know it was going to be that hypersensitive. Is that like crazy loud for y'all? Is that like crazy loud? Because I don't want to blow out your guys' eardrums. Oh, I heard a ping. I heard a pop. It's going to make a liar of me yet. Let's see. Nope. Yes, 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 yes. No, I have 2 nopes, 6 yeses. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. It's all right if you don't do, okay, then I don't think I need to do any more than that. I think that's done. So 6 tablespoons of pepper. Let's see if I need more pepper. Oh, I might need more. Well, if I do, I'm going to mute my mic. And I'm doing this a lot of pepper because he likes the peppered bacon. All right, 1, 2, oh, maybe not. 3, 4, 5. Ooh. That should be enough. 9 tablespoons of kosher salt. 9 tablespoons of kosher salt. Oh, I should have gotten this stuff out earlier, but I ran out of room because I had all my jars out and everything else. All right. We don't skip on the